If you're a family business leader and in the future you're going to be dealing with the succession of a CFO or senior financial leader, you need to listen to this video because there's some key mistakes family businesses make that cause them significant pain, either financially or culturally, when dealing with CFO succession. The first big mistake is that families oftentimes muddy the responsibilities of their senior financial executives with their personal financial issues. This can be something like personal tax returns or investments or educating their children on appropriate financial behavior. The problem here is twofold. One, the CFO as an employee is not in a position to tell you no, and you are adding on top of them responsibilities in addition to everything else that comes along with your company. But more importantly, their charge is running an organization. You've hired them to be employed and manage your business affairs. By bringing in your personal financial affairs, you're opening them up to different types of risk, endangers their employment with you and your organization. So here's an example of why this is a problem. Just take something as simple as tax returns, but it's not just your tax return, is it? It's you and your spouse and your kids. Perhaps there's even more moat about your uncle and your nephews and your nieces. When you start using your employees of your operating company to manage your family's financial affairs, it can get very, very broad. And this individual whose responsibility is to ensure the financial success of your organization is now encumbered with months of financial tax returns in March and April as tax season is due. This distracts that individual from what their true responsibilities are and over encumbers them, ruining their morale. While this might have been common in the past, it is a big mistake that brings risk into your financial organization and ultimately puts your whole golden goose at risk. Instead, what we'd suggest to you is a very straightforward policy. I want you to think about your family company, that operating company, that golden goose, with a moat around it. Everyone that works in that castle is employed by the castle. They are not your individual employees. They are employees of the company. Their responsibility is the company, not what goes on at your house. Your house is outside of the castle somewhere else. Yes, you might own the castle, but what goes on in that space is protected by that moat. If you have issues outside of the business, you go to your financial advisor. You call your wealth advisor, you call your bank. You talk to people whose specialty is dealing with your personal finances, and your chief financial officer and other financial executives, their responsibility is to run the company. And a way to illustrate this is, let's invert it around. Let's say you call up your wealth advisor and say, "Hey, John, I need help managing the ERP system at my business. Can you come over and help me deal with the implementation of SAP?" They're going to say no. That's not their job.